Getting to be a little slippery. There's the new truck. Ain't that pretty. All this muck. There's gonna be a lot of that out. Alright, let's not go too fast here. It is slippery. It is the spring, or not spring yet, but almost. It's March 15th, I think. Sounds about right. Everything's starting to thaw. So I'm gonna take it a little bit easy down this hill. As you can see, it's pretty glossy. Really don't want to hit the brakes because that's when you get into trouble. So I'm just going to downshift and use the front brake very sparingly. I'm starving, I didn't eat breakfast, I'm fat, pants don't fit. I saw that coming, but now I got a diet. I was complaining about that going into the winter. Too much fancy beer. It's amazing how that happens, you know. I saw a meme that was spot on. It said something like, don't wear sweatpants in the winter because then you think all is well. Yeah, that's exactly right. Pretty much what happens. See all this shit? It's like clay. This is hard pack, so when the surface of this gets wet, it's like slip. If you know anything about clay. So I got on, for pants I'm just wearing regular old Wranglers. The Wrangler Rangers, they're pretty thick. I've talked about them before. Really good windstop properties, so they are ripstop. So it's, better than wearing shorts. Better than denim, I would think, too, a little bit. So yeah, it's been some months. The winter actually went by really fast. Right towards the end of the winter, I finally found some really enjoyable thing to do. Play hockey. I just get on a pair of ice skates. At first, it's like, oh man, that brought me back to about 20 years ago when I used to play hockey every day. So I got my stick and got a puck, and I was like, oh man, I forgot how much I love this. And then like 2-3 weeks later, all the ice starts melting. There's a lot of really good outdoor skating rinks around here that are free. So that was a pretty cool discovery. Been here almost 6 years and never even knew that. Yeah, my battery never died all winter. I mean, I'd start it every couple weeks and let it run. And people say it's bad because condensation can build up in your gas tanks. You're not really revving it hard enough, so get rid of all the moisture. But so I just revved it pretty good until all the steam was gone, and then after I'd shut it off, I'd just open up the gas tank and let it depressurize. So we'll see. It's one of those things where, like, the internet says one thing and everyone follows along. So if you got like one safety Sally saying, "Oh, you should never do that. It will be the end of all mankind," then like the rest of the internet goes along with it. But then you get like a handful of dissenting voices that are like, "It's fine. I've been doing that for 30 years." And those are usually the people that are right. And usually the people that I listen to, because I found, I do things my own way, and it's usually okay. So yeah. So the battery never died, and this is just a stock battery, which aren't that great. So it's a little chilly out, about 40. It never got too cold this winter. I think it was like only a few nights that went sub-zero Fahrenheit. Didn't really use that much wood. That's all good. It's all good with the wood. No man, jelly bean. Let's see how bad this road is. Oh, what's that? Residence. Oh, okay. Let's keep the crappy, almost bald front tire off that dirt for now. Our road usually gets that sign, but the thaw has been pretty slow this year. It's been kind of like in the high 40s, and it'll melt, and then it'll freeze at night, which puts a stop to it, gives everything a little time to run off, and then it'll be like low 40s the next day, or maybe high 30s, and rinse and repeat. It just kind of does that every day now. Yesterday, I believe it made it into the 50s. I think it's going to make it into the 50s again today. So, but there hasn't been rain. They're projecting a little bit of rain tonight and tomorrow, but just like drizzle. So it's been a slow thaw anyway. There's been most years on our road it gets shut down, but they haven't shut it down this year. It looks actually in really good shape, surprisingly good. But yeah, that being said, I got to change this front tire because, from what I understand, that front tire is all about keeping your bike stable on the dirt, when you're just rolling. There's a little bit of treads on it, You'll probably see it in the video. But there's like one side of it's pretty worn. I have to figure out how to get the front end up again. Kind of forgot how to do that. I got the scissor stand, the motorcycle scissor stand, which I use to change the back tire. And I'm just going to shut up and enjoy the ride. Yeah, so got a new truck finally. If you want a Toyota, now's the time. 2.9 APR. So I got the Tundra. Needed something big enough for the whole family. Oh boy, are the kids excited. They are so excited. Even the 3.5-year-old. I love the Tundra. I love the Tundra, Dad. Me too. It's the first new truck, the first new car I've ever gotten in my entire life. So our other car is a 2007 Highlander Limited, which is absolutely amazing SUV. But we needed a bigger truck because my other truck's a fun truck. It's just a S10 ZR2 with the factory lift, extreme winter package. It's for having fun and it's not for a family. But the Tundra is a little bit of both. It's really nice. It's the premium paint job, the supersonic red. It just came out of the factory. They didn't pick it. They're hard. So Toyota, with their whole lean manufacturing thing, they only produce enough to meet demand. So there's not a crap ton of these Fords. There's not a crap ton of these things sitting on the lot. In fact, you got to kind of jump on them if you see them, and that's kind of what we did. And we lucked out because it's pretty much what I wanted. It's got the TRD, not the TRD Pro, but it's got the TRD package. So came with dirt tires, off-road tires, really nice rims, the black rims with the red accents. It's got the Bilstein shocks, diff lock. It's got limited slip differential, which is really cool. And it's got differential lock. It's got crawl mode, all the TRD stuff. 4 high, 4 low. Amazing truck. It's such a big deal for me because I've never had a new vehicle. 2007 is the newest I had, and I bought the 2007 in 2019, so it was already 12 years old. No, yeah, 12 years old. But it's a great little SUV. And I'll tell you what, the limited Highlander comes with the JBL sound system. The Tundra comes with just a 9-speaker, non-JBL. I believe it's a non-surround, which I've heard bad things about anyway. The sound system in the 2007 Highlander blows the Tundra away. That's an example of how a lot of times things get shittier. think JBL is one of those companies that aren't really what they used to be. But anyway, so the truck is like has the touch screen. You have to get them like we wanted something super basic, but there's nothing that doesn't have all of that computerized stuff in it anymore. As far as I know, but this has the heated seats and climate control with 2 zones. It's got a lot of premium stuff in it. That's how it came, and they had one. They had 3 on the lot. 2 of them were spoken for, and this one happened to be the 6.5 foot bed, which I wanted the shorter bed, but I'm so glad it worked out this way because it looks fantastic. I think it actually looks a little better for 6.5, and obviously the utility of it is a lot better. I can probably throw my snowmobile in there with the gate open. Can't fit this behemoth in there, but yeah. So all the computerized stuff is like just wacky. The night before we went to go get it, I'm thinking, oh no, it's not going to have a CD player, is it? That's how old school I am. To me, that's like not even old school, but I guess it's all the young people these days. But it just blows me away because it's got Android Auto, which interfaces with your smartphone, and wow, what garbage! Like it's just so convoluted. Not convoluted. It's not convoluted. Like it's not complicated, but like so much shit just doesn't work well. And that's like so Amazon Music, which I'm subscribed to because we have Prime and blah blah blah. And we've used it. I know Amazon Music sucks. The interface is the worst. Okay, I'm well aware of this. I'm well aware there's better options, but it's what we have. It's what everything is hooked up to, and it's what we're comfortable with. So until we'll probably migrate, but so right off the bat, it's like just doing stupid shit. Like, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to not swear as much. I've been told I swear too much on this channel. That'll never happen, but I'll try. I'll try. So, like, I got my albums that I have on Amazon Music, right? Let's just take Gin Blossoms, for instance. And I go and play Gin Blossoms. And the song is over, the first song is over, and it goes to, like, this other album that I've never even listened to in time. Like, just, something similar. I don't know what they're doing, right? And I'm like, what the heck? So, long story short, it takes me forever to figure out how to just play an album. Like, should it be this hard just to listen to some music? So, I think I finally get it fixed. I had to scroll all the way down in the menu on Amazon Music, go to albums, and so it starts playing. I'm like, oh, good. And then it goes to the next song. I'm like, oh, I got it working. Check that out, right? And then it goes to the next song. It's like everything looks like it's working. And then it switches albums. And I'm like, what the? So, like, and I go back, I'm trying it again and again. It's only playing 3 songs from this album. Like, why? Like, it makes no sense. And I'm trying to think, is it like songs I favorited in the album? Is it only playing like favorites or something? I don't think it was, because there's a lot of songs I like in that album, but I don't even think I used the favorite feature. So anyway, long story short, I look up some information. People are like, yeah, Amazon Music does not play well with Android Auto. This is the first time I've ever used Android Auto. I don't know anything about it. I'm guessing it's a Google product, because people are like, oh, Google or YouTube Music works good with it. So anyway, after all this, I said to my wife, I was like, kids young people these days, they don't know like how screwed up everything is, because like you get to something like that, right? Just wanting to listen to music in your car, and it's like such a runaround. Oh, this is slippy slidey. It's such a like a mess, you know. It's such a circus, and it's just like they're really missing out on just like things just working, and that's got to do something to you, like your brain, make you like think in some circuitous way. It's so inefficient. If you think about like what kind of society that's breeding, it seems really bad. If you know what I'm saying, like this road. This road is fucking terrible. Probably being too careful, but this is really rutted up. I'll probably turn around. I don't want to drive it if it's going to be like this the whole way. Boing, 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 boing. I found the deepest rut with the most holes. Oy. Yeah, I'm not. My confidence level is not there right now. It's been like 2 months since I've ridden this thing. Because it's like the front end's like sliding everywhere because it's Garbo tire here. That's good. I get to check out what roads are functional and which ones aren't. So anyway, where was I? Yeah, so it's just so common. I said to my wife, I was like, you know, this is an example. It's kind of like how everything works nowadays because Android is such trash. And listen, I used to work on Linux. I know all about Linux. I was all into Linux. I used to go to Linux cons and all that stuff. And I still think Linux is great for hacking. If you want to hack and if you want to code, Linux is the best. Um, because all that stuff is integrated in the operating system. Um, that being said, the reason Linux sucks is because there's no governing body that says these are the standards. There's no standards, and that's the problem. Stick to it. It's like if you know anything about electronics, they have that, right? There's standards that people abide by with electronic components. It should be the same with Linux, but it's just one of those things that, you know, Linux. I don't disagree with the Linux thing, the whole free operating system thing, but there needs to be some standards. Because you run into stuff like this. Like, this shit just does not work on an Android. 9 out of 10 times, it just does not work when you're trying to, when we're talking about compatibility, things working together. I don't know really much about Apple, so I can't say if it's better, but it's just like, when I complain about how screwed up this country is, my wife's like, well, what's better? I'm like, I don't know, but that doesn't make it good, right? Like, I don't know if there's anything better than Linux, but it doesn't mean Android. I don't know if there's anything better than Android, but it doesn't mean Android is good. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, Amazon Music does not play well with Android Auto. It just does all kinds of stupid crap, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, so I said, like, these kids, these young people now, people that have never, like, had a CD player in their car, they don't realize, like, you used to just take a CD, put it in, and listen to music. You didn't have to set anything up. You didn't have to hope it works or figure anything. I mean, it's just so ridiculous. And I said to my wife, I said, this is just a good example of how having lots of options does not replace functionality. Like you had companies like Panasonic and Sony, and they'd make a CD player, and the thing just worked forever, right on the box, and that was it. Like, that's functionality, that's quality. Now you've got all these options, but like your basic structure isn't there. But yeah, like that's got to do something to society. Like, making everybody chase their tail every day about stupid crap, basic stuff that should just work. So yeah. That being said, I've been using the Sirius XM, which is really good. I'm not going to pay $25 a month for that though, so I looked up how to get it for like $5.99 or $7.99 a month, which is kind of doable. The thing is, like, I've got subscriptions and club dues, and that shit adds up. So I don't know if I want another subscription to anything. So I might just throw a bunch of MP3s on a USB stick and be done with it. I do like Sirius XM though. They have a lot of stations I like. Tom Petty Radio is one of them. 80s on 8 is another one. I think another one's Classic Rewind. They're a pretty good chill electronic channel. I didn't know that place closed for the season. I don't think I really need gas yet. I think I'll just head home for now. I got stuff to do today. Oh boy. Boy, do I wish I could turn around now. Yeah, let's do it. I'm not dealing with that. Dude's going like 20 miles an hour. God, I'm hungry. Hungry. yeah, the new Tundra, it's pretty impressive. They, I think it's called like the iForce V6. Has more horsepower and towing power than the V8. That's crazy. It's only a 3.4 liter, but obviously it's forced air, so it doesn't need to be 5.7 like the V8. Toyota, pretty impressive. But of course, we live on the dirt road, so as soon as we got home, there's just mud all over it. It's like that. And there's mud all on the inside, and the kids already put their muddy feet on the backs of the seats, even though we told them not to. It's just mud. It'll clean off. They hosed it off. Like, that's why it's so painful to buy something new that's so expensive, because like you want to keep it all shiny, but it's just not realistic. That's why like when you get something new like this bike that's not that expensive, it just feels good. It's like this bike, these motorcycles, and people have said it a million times over, this is the best value for your money of like anything. So, it's not just like, oh, it's all I could afford. It's just like, is it what you can afford emotionally also? For me, yeah, because like, I don't want to get some $20,000 adventure bike and just like crap it up. I feel better about getting I paid $5,000 for this thing, brand new. I'd rather get a $5,000 motorcycle and not have to worry too much about getting all crapped up. Plus, they're kind of made for it. It makes it even better. This motorcycle is like the AK-47 of dual sports. Everyone should have one of these. And everyone who has a motorcycle should have one of these, and you can probably afford it. It's like my American Standard Strat. I paid, I think it was $800 back 10 years ago, and it was a deal that they had going. No, it's American Special actually. Yeah, so I got a hell of a deal on that thing, and I think it was Chicago Music Exchange, and I called the guy on the phone. I'm like, listen, you're a guitar guy. Can you go try out all the Strats and tell me which one? Because if you're a guitar guy, you know what I'm talking about. You could spend $7,000 like a nut job on some Les Paul wall hanger, and it just has no soul. So I said, can you go pick up all the Strats and pick the best one for me? And he must have done it, because I've had a lot of guitars in my life, and this is the most amazing guitar I have ever played. And it just spoke to me immediately. As soon as I touched it, as soon as I played it, it was like, oh my god, I'm in love. That's how it was, and it's only because I've never wanted another guitar. It's always fun to try new guitars, but it's like this bike. It's like, I think, what do I want? What other bike? I don't want another bike. I would love to try other bikes. Love to try an African again, but I don't feel like I ever need another bike. The same with that guitar. It'd be fun. But so my wife's like, last night she's like, it just seems like you're always reaching for more. I'm like, well, yeah, that's how I am. I'm hungry. But when I find something that really touches me, like emotionally, and I stick with it. I don't reach for more. This that guitar, this motorcycle, my ZR2. I love that truck. That was my pride and joy when I got that. And I got that used, and I said to myself, I'm going to take such good care of this thing. I'm going to keep it all shiny, but the Northeast killed it. That's one thing with the Toyotas. I don't know what they do. They do something, some kind of treatment that they use on their metal that makes it less prone to rusting out. Like that ZRT rusted out. The frame, when I got it, the frame was all clean. Everything was clean. And then it just seemed so fast. It just rusted out. Everything's rusted on it now. But I've had to weld a couple new panels on it, and my son really loves that ZR2, and he's like, "Can I have that when I get older?" I'm like, "Yeah," but I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't know if it should be safe. You know, we'll see. See, I went did a lot of snow. I did good amount of snowmobiling. I found my neighbor down the road. He and his neighbor and his other neighbor, they have combined about 14 acres of trail, along with a big frozen pond that we went on. That was a lot of fun. I didn't film it because it was raining. It was just awful, awful day. It was rain and ice coming down all day. But I had fun snowmobiling. Got to legit snowmobile. It was pretty tricky. I learned that there's different kinds of snowmobiles. And the one I have is a short track, and it's not the best for going off trail. But it's like anything. If you have the skill, it's just fine. I don't have the skill. I don't get out enough on it. Yeah, I got stuck a few times. You don't think that you're getting stuck on a snowmobile, 'cause it's got that track on the back, but it's just like anything else. Once you get dug in, you can't get out. The other thing I'm not used to snowmobiling is quite often you have to, what do they call it, throttle wide open, right? I'm not used to that with my motorsports. So they say, I think it's like if your skis are higher than your tracks, never ever throttle down. Just keep it ripping. Little things like that I had no idea about. Yeah, apparently there's short track and long track. I guess for off trail you want those big long track mountain snowmobiles, which I don't think they're very cost effective. Snowmobiling in and of itself is not very pretty spendy. I don't think the smiles per mile are there. That's why even like a $20,000 motorcycle, that's a hell of a bargain for what you get out of it. If you got $20,000 and you want to buy a motorcycle, I say go for it, because for what you get for that amount of money is just, there's nothing like it. 5, 6, 7, 10, 12. What do the African twin cost? think those are like 17,000, aren't they? But, Tenere, what? You can get those for 8,000. I've seen it. There's one for 8,000 right down the road, brand new. That's 75 horsepower. For what you get for that money, there's nothing else like it. The snowmobiling was like kind of a downgrade for me.